Broadcasting from Studio 300, you're watching Poly Playbook. Welcome to this week's edition of Poly Playbook, where we recap and preview Cal Poly athletics. This week we have men's basketball senior Anthony Silvestri on the desk, but first, Cal Poly athletics recently made a huge coaching hire. First, Cal Poly made arguably the biggest coaching hire in the history of the school with the hiring of former U.S. men's national soccer team head coach Steve Sampson. Yesterday, Cal Poly's athletic director Don Oberhelman announced the hiring of Sampson, the former LA Galaxy and Santa Clara head coach, and said he was delighted to welcome him to the Mustang family. Sampson also spent time as an analyst for Time Warner Cable Deportes in Southern California, and to this day he remains the only American-born individual to be a soccer analyst on Mexican television. Shifting gears, the Cal Poly women's basketball team picked up a 79-73 win on the road against Santa Clara on Tuesday night. Ariana Eligado made all 12 of her free throws and finished with a game-high 16 points. Freshman guard Din Leo Pepe matched her season high with 15 points and also pulled down 7 rebounds. Her twin Lynn also added 9 points on the night. After the win, the Mustangs are now 4-3 overall this season. The Mustangs' next game is Sunday, December 14th at 2 p.m. against St. Mary's and Mott Athletic Center. Moving on to men's basketball, Menlo College will be at Mott Athletic Center on Saturday. The Mustangs are sitting at 2-3 this season after 2 losses on their road trip, and the first loss was 72-52 at Cal, and the second was an 82-56 loss at St. Mary's. Looking ahead to the home game Saturday, Menlo College is at 1-7 this season. The D2 Menlo College and the Mustangs are now headed for a 2-game road trip starting at Fresno State. The Cal Poly logging team teaches students how to compete in timber sports, and multimedia journalist Sam Doty takes a look at this uncommon sport.
I come from Indiana, out of stater, and I grew up doing stuff like this, using axes and chainsaws and stuff, but I never really heard of timber sports, and I saw it on TV, and then I saw it out here at the logging unit, and I was like, that looks awesome. Go.
You get to be outdoors, it's amazing company, and it's physically challenging. I think that's definitely a big draw to the logging team. It's an unusual sport that not many people get to do.
Burling is a competition where 2 competitors stand on a log that's about 12 feet long and about 16 inches in diameter. It's just fun. A lot of people, you look at it and it looks pretty easy. It's just a log in the water, but it takes a lot to balance on one. Once you figure out how to get the log rolling one direction and then stop it and bring it back and roll it the other direction, I don't know, it's just a cool feeling.
The goal of climbing for girls is to get to 30 feet as fast as you can, and for guys to get to 50 feet. I haven't timed myself yet, but today that was the fastest I've ever gotten to 30, so I really like the view from up top. It's kind of cool. And the spurs are what you climb. There's the belay, so if you fall, you don't fall all the way down if you can't catch yourself.
There's a lot of variety, and that's one of the beauties about the logging team is you don't get this segregated group of individuals that you see in classes all the time. It's a unique mixture.
Every quarter you enroll in NR 290 is a class. It's 1 unit, credit, no credit, and all you have to do to get credit in the class is show up and pay your dues, which are $15 a quarter, and that covers everything.
And now for the interview portion of Poly Playbook, we have senior forward Anthony Silvestri on the desk. Thank you for coming on, Anthony.
No problem.
So I'm curious, how are you measuring expectations? How are you guys doing coming off of that big NCAA tournament that you guys had last year?
So, I mean, obviously there's, after that last season, there's a lot of expectations out there, but really the only thing we can do is just keep getting better as a team. We're definitely improving a lot. We've shown a lot of good things so far in our last couple of losses, but we also have a lot to work on.
What do you think you guys have to work on to get better?
More consistent. I mean, we play really good stretches, and then we let down against good teams like Cal and St. Mary's. It's not going to work out.
Yeah, I noticed you guys were in it the first half against Cal. You played competitively against St. Mary's, and you played really well against Delaware.
Yeah.
What are you trying to find that you think worked against a tough East Coast team in Delaware that you maybe could work on in the future?
Yeah, just, I mean, against Delaware we came out really aggressive, and also helps being at home. You know, on the St. Mary's is a tough team, both, and Cal. I mean, Cal, we were down by 3 with about 12 minutes to go. You can't really ask much better against a good team like that. But just being aggressive the whole game, that's definitely one thing that we need to keep doing.
Mm-hmm. What do you think you guys did right against Delaware that you can grab from that game?
I think we played solid the whole game instead of just for portions. So, yeah.
And how would you fix that consistency gap that you were talking about then?
In practice, you know, just in practice having no letdown, just keep going in practice. Can't, you know, stop and go. Like, it doesn't work. You got to go the whole time.
Okay. And can you talk to me, what do you see in Menlo College? You guys play them tomorrow night here at Mott.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to be a good team. You know, obviously they're not Division I, so we need to do well. We can't really play them. We got to play ourselves in this type of game and come out for the whole game.
You just said play yourselves. How do you, coming off success you've had and playing big schools and being in Division I, how do you play versus D2 and make sure you don't maybe play down or look, you know, maybe underestimate your opponent?
Yeah, we just got to use it as a kind of a stepping stone to work on things, but also keep doing what we're doing and, you know, pushing the ball. We want to work on things in those type of games.
Okay. What are you trying to work on in the game against Menlo? What do you see?
Yeah, I mean, we're going to try to push the ball and just be aggressive the whole game. You know, those last couple of games we weren't aggressive enough and we didn't get the results we wanted. So we're going to try to do it for all 40 minutes.
Okay. And you guys go on a significant, basically, away trip, playing Hawaii and going away from Mott until you play Santa Barbara in January, like January 11th. Mm-hmm. Can you talk about the humongous road trip that you have coming up?
Yeah, I think it's like we're going to be on the road 12 days, and then including going home for the few days for Christmas, and then we go straight from home out to Chicago, and then back home, back to SLO for I think a couple days, and then conference starts. So it's going to be definitely going to be tough. We're going to need everybody on the trip, you know, to keep it going, and it'll be good though to get away from school for a bit. You know, it's different being around here when there's no students, so it's kind of nice to get out.
Can you talk about the mental challenge? Because most of us students, me included, we get to recharge for 3.5 weeks, and you guys have to go on the road and play tough opponents. So you basically can't really turn your brain off and relax. Can you talk about you know, just nonstop that you got to go through this? Yeah,
the one good thing is though we can focus just on the basketball portion instead of like over Thanksgiving. You know, people have to study, get ready for finals. You know, so once we're on the road, we can mostly focus on basketball, which is the nice thing, but it definitely is hard. There's no let up.
So speaking of the holidays, Cal Poly basketball does Season of Hope. Can you talk about your involvement and what is Season of Hope and what you guys have been doing?
Yeah, basically we get out in the community, and a couple of us went to grammar schools and helped out with a couple of free clinics, talked to some student and little kids, you know, and then everybody else went to 3 different Albertsons locations throughout, one in Atascadero, AG, and SLO, and we teamed up with the SLO Food Bank and tried to basically collect as many cans as possible, and people that gave cans, we would give it out tickets for the game this Saturday.
And how what would you say the goal was, and what have you taken out of the experience?
I mean, the goal is just basically just get out there and just get as much as you can, really. There's no like set goal. If we can get 5 cans, get 5 cans. If you only get 1, then you know you get 1. But yeah, that's it, really.
Okay. And shifting to you individually, you earned a scholarship recently. Can you talk about the work that you put in going on as a walk-on your freshman, sophomore season, and junior season, and now you have this senior year, you have a full ride scholarship. Can you talk about that journey?
Yeah, it's definitely a unique one, not playing basketball for my first 2 years at Cal Poly and then starting to play my 3rd year of college. It was kind of unique. I'm only getting 3 years, really, because as soon as you start going to school, you get your clock starts with the NCAA. But definitely I put in a lot of work over the last 2 years to earn it for this year.
Okay.
Last year, get that extra year, the bonus year.
Well, thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you very much.
Anthony.
It was great.
Yeah, and that'll do it for the interview portion of Poly Playbook. And I think that's it. Yeah, cool. Well, that's it for this episode of Poly Playbook. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.